righty, hello and happy Valentine's Day here at Tisch Loveless Court. Conveniently with love in the name, but no time for love today as the Albion Brits face off against our very own Kalamazoo Hornets. Now today we've got an intriguing matchup between these two teams. We know the story of the Hornets pretty well, looking good in MIAA play with a 6-7 conference record. But Albion's story is a little bit different, a very successful season. Two big things to look at today, Maya. Megan Truella is 15 points away from the all-time single-season scoring record, going past Sarah Caskey, who had 463 back in 2005. Furthermore, Coach Doreen Carden is only one win away from 400 wins in her career as head coach. Big day for the Brits, but can the Hornets upset them and maybe spoil their fun? We'll have to see.
Yeah, a lot to look forward to on both sides. You mentioned how it's a really, really great season for this Albion side. Well, the Hornets have turned it around too. I mean, they are playing phenomenally well. Compared to their last season, the records just show the difference. I mean, that 2024-2025 season, they had a 4-12 conference run. So already with 6 wins is an improvement from last season. A lot to look forward to on both sides. With that being said, Albion too. Last season, they had a comparatively not as good offseason. And yet here they are playing way better than ever. So like I was saying, positives all around. It's going to be an exciting matchup, a lot to look forward to.
Definitely. 100% agree there. And just a little intro, I'm Quentin Powers.
I'm Maya Pasillas.
Yeah, welcome to the broadcast today. It's going to be an interesting one. We've got a couple things to talk about. With Compete for a Cause Day, I think our announcer, Tanner, is going to be able to talk about that. Tanner White.
Yeah, Tanner White. It's been a minute if you haven't heard him on the broadcast. But don't worry, lacrosse season is starting up. Softball season starting up. Baseball season is started. So, I mean, if you're getting sad that this basketball season might coming to an end, well, don't worry. You got a lot to look forward to.
100%. And I think Tanner's going to take it away right here. So we'll let him give us a little rundown.
So much for supporting this great Compete for a Cause. And welcome. It is just about time to meet your starters for the visiting Albion College Britons. Pardon us. We ask all those who are able to please stand and rise for playing our national anthem.
Yeah, there was no open shots for the Hornets, and then lucky enough to kind of get that jump ball call before the shot clock ran down. I feel like that feels a little bit better than being kind of quieted down until the shot clock ends.
That's true, but missing out on getting a shot off still stings a little bit. And the Brits taking advantage of that. Truella goes through, almost gets the and one on a Really crafty layup.
Yeah, and that's that power, that drive that she can provide. So, again, someone that's going to continue to come alive throughout the whole time. Trella, an 81% at the line. So she's a good shot here for the free throws.
Yeah, and she's productive at the line. I mean, she gets a lot of buckets from free throws. Modern basketball, we talk about it all the time. You get to the line, you get points on the board, you win games.
And there you go. You're talking about getting points and winning games. Well, they've already kind of brought themselves up. It's 13-13. I mean, a really good work from this Albion side to kind of work their way back up and into this game.
So the Hornets, been cold for a little bit now. Hogan thought about the jump shot. Dinda from way downtown, that one's short.
But you can tell that's in Dinda's range. It almost felt like maybe she took an extra second to gather herself. That would be in the net, but really, really nice shot there from Dinda. I'm not mad at it. Hey, you know what? Go for it.
And Dinda coming off a rough game, looking to change that trend. Was unable to drain one from three, so hopefully today can change it. Britzo with the ball. Hanen no good on that layup. Punnell gets the rebound. Punnell bodies Dinda.
I mean, Punnell just showing her stuff. I mean, Dinda got all up over there and then still was able to get to the ball, and then Punnell still able to push past any type of, like, anything, any contestment that she faced. She was able to push past and get that too. Really good work there.
Risky pass from Robertson to the inside, but they hold on to it, and now the shot clock is ticking down. Moore's got to make it happen. Moore, tough shot over top of Punnell, and that's what she does best.
I mean, that was just beautiful. You know what? Go clip that, highlight that, whatever you can. Leave some game notes there. Sophia Moore showing us how it's done.
Oh, but in response, Baker shows the crafty layup. Man, some great basketball we're seeing here. Some really tough shots being made. Hornets looking to keep that going. It's a game of streaks, and can they keep one alive? Hogan takes it in. A good stop by Gulford. Shot clock ticking down. Vanderstelt with it. Jump shot, no good.
Yeah, it looked like it came off of her hand a little bit awkwardly. You can kind of see the spin on the ball was a little bit off. So still, I mean, Vanderstelt able to find some room to get a shot off. Pretty positive there. Now it's just getting the right type of shot off to get that too.
So the Brits take it inside to Baker. Baker trying to go over top of Hogan. And a foul's going to be called there.
Yeah, and it felt like the whole crowd is in disagreement. Ryan Clark also showing his discontent.
Yeah, and you see Hogan talking to ref Timothy Feketa just to see if, if she can learn something from it. Maybe she saw something. Yeah. That's what a lot of players do. They ask, hey, what did I do wrong there? I want to fix it for next time, make sure we're all in agreement.
It's like first one falls for Baker. She has a 77% at that free throw line. All of the Albion players have a pretty good free throw percentage.
Yeah, a pretty efficient team at the line, and shows itself there. So now the Brits changing the trend, up by 4. A good pass from Vanderstelt to break the press. And Moore, looks like she missed out in Allen in the corner. Allen's looking for that three-point shot. Moore, though, gets the lay through contact.
Whew. Sophia Moore putting in the work right there. Again, just really good movement, really good swift on her feet. I mean, just a player that has become more and more impactful as time has progressed in this season.
So Punnell gets attacked by Wilkes, and Wilkes gets the steal. Great intensity on defense, but a risky pass from Wilkes. A turnover there. Gulford has it. Tough pass. And Wilkes, more great defense. Gets the tip, goes right back off of Gulford. Hornets have the chance to redeem themselves.
I mean, there's not a lot. I mean, I keep saying there's not a lot of notes I could provide for you, but I mean, I'll tell you what. Right there defensively, both sides are alive and well. Hornets sitting at 17 and then Albion sitting at 19. It just doesn't feel that way, though. It does feel like the Hornets are kind of carrying the momentum. It feels like maybe the score should be a little bit flipped here, but I think that all goes down to getting these turnovers, getting these kind of flips and possessions, right? But then not able to produce any points from them. And so I think that is where this scoreboard is coming from. So right here, for example, right, they got the turnover here. Can they produce something from it? I think that is the question that the Hornets are looking to answer. I feel once they find that key, once they find that solution, we're looking at a way different game. I mean, they're playing so well. Same side here on Albion side. Continue what you're doing, obviously. Continue being disruptive. Continue making those shots. Continue getting the ball to anyone that you can to. I mean, you got a lot to look forward to. Get it to Pinnell a little bit more into the paint. She has been really, really productive in driving and getting past all the bodies that the Hornets have. So positives, I'll keep saying it, and you're going to keep hearing it, but positives on both sides and very minor adjustments that need to be made.
Yeah, and those minor adjustments might just be cleaning it up a little bit out there. Some of those turnovers for both teams have been troublesome, but the Hornets, even with a lot of turnovers this season, have found a lot of wins. Moore, jump shot, no good. That's her shot, though. She's going to be taking that all game from now on.
Yeah, you could tell no one was mad about taking that shot right there. You just wish it went in.
Gulford, nice move. Tries to get the pass to Hunnan, but Hunnan just can't hold on to it. Hannon.
Yeah, really good movement. I mean, just moving the ball around, and still the Hornets able to kind of break it up.
Yeah, and Truella is going to be called for the foul. Trying to help Guilford, but just a little too physical there. Hasn't been too much of a physical game. They've kind of let both teams play, which I like to see personally.
Yeah, the game does move a lot quicker through that, but I mean, you do notice when there are foul calls, you notice them pretty well because there's not many.
Hornets now. Hogan isn't in. Wilkes going to be taking it up. Now Allen inside to Moore. Moore over top. No good. Fighting for the rebound, but Guilford ends up with it. Guilford's been in this whole game just super dominant at the guard position. Now Truella on Allen. Allen trying to stay clean, and does. Truella struggling right now. Hornets after a good defensive possession. You want to get a nice shot off, something you can be confident with. Both shooters in with Dinda and Allen. Moore gives it inside to Vanderstelp, but good defense from Skirka. And there we're going to call a jump ball.
Yeah, as you mentioned, really good defense on both sides. Right now what I'm seeing from this Hornet side, I mean, they're holding on to the ball a little bit too much. And I know maybe I sound like a little bit of a hypocrite because in the beginning of that first quarter, I was like, you know what? They got to, hold on to the ball a little bit more. They got to slow it down. I think right now they're at a good tempo, but they got to let go of the shot. I'm seeing some open spots or maybe some shots that some players prefer, and still they let it go and kind of opt for an extra 2 to 3 passes, and then that's when the score kind of just dwindles down.
Definitely, and I think just being clean, it's been some great defense, but we know both teams are capable of just having cleaner basketball. But Dinda with the three, that one's short, and with the shot clock running down, you got to touch rim, so.
Yeah, again, Dinda's going to continue to try to kind of cement her three game, right? She's so good at it. And now she's just trying to look to like, okay, how can I kind of settle into this game a little bit quicker? She has a 22% at that three-point, but it's the timing of her three-point that really makes it matter. It's when she gets that shot to fall, it's like the Hornets have been needing it for a while, and then boom, Dinda with the three. So something that she want to kind of set into the game a little bit earlier, so maybe she can start making a little bit more.
And the Brits are going to turn it over. And aside for that last game from Dinda, I think she's really heated up in conference play shooting-wise. I think a lot of the shooters on this Hornet squad struggled early on, and now when it matters most in conference play have been able to facilitate and make those meaningful shots, as you said, Mom. Hornets now. Great pass from Robertson. Dinda inside. That one's off the foot of Baker, I believe.
Yeah, and let's talk about this full court press that Albion kind of switched to. I mean, it's working out. I don't know how it's going to play out if they continue to play the full court press until the fourth quarter, but right now it's working out.
Wilkes with the three. That's her second of the day. And now the Hornets with a 1-point lead. 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the half.
And that's crazy because I was just about to say the only way to break it.
And now the Brits, after a nice pass to Truella, but Vanderschelt, just the intimidation factor on the inside.
Yeah, I mean, and they're taking the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say the only way to break this full court press is just make your shots. And, I mean, it all started right there from Wilkes.
Wilkes again from three. That one's no good. Almost a heat check, but a tough rebound from Robertson. Right over top of Baker. Woo.
Yeah, Samaje Robertson was flying for a minute. I mean, the airtime that she got on that jump, crazy.
And the Hornets are looking good right now. Albion slowing down just a little bit. Skirka on the inside gets swatted, but now foul's going to be called. Dinda attacked just a little too late.
Yeah, she came in a little fast too, so really easy to kind of call that call right there.
And Vanderschelt with a nice block there. You can't ignore that. Coming off a game with 7 blocks, and it almost feels normal. She has just done a fantastic job breaking her own record with most blocks in a season. Top 3 in blocks of all of D3 basketball. So Albion almost gets a 5-second call on the inbound. That one for 3 from Guilford. And she felt it. And she's letting the Hornets bench know. A great response from the Brits. Hornets on the other side. A good pass from Vanderschelt. Moore just gets it.
Yeah, you got to get the 2 to reward that. Such a great pass. Good height, good pace. It wasn't going to get picked off, and then you got to reward it with making that 2. So really good job there with the connection and the 2 from Sophia Moore.
Truella with it now. Takes it inside, double teamed. Skirka tried to get the jumper, and now Guilford. Too physical after the rebound.
And you can tell Guilford is just fired up right now. I mean, she made her shot, and right now she just wants to bring her team back to life a little bit, right? I told you about how the Hornets are carrying momentum, and she's just trying to bring that back to them. So just a little bit too much right there. Got the call, and they were able to kind of break up all that movement. So Hornets have a chance here to kind of put the period on the sentence.
And so Robertson taking it inside, tries to get the foul and the lay, but neither happened. So shot clock is off. 20 seconds left in this half. The Brits down by 2.
What do you think? They go for the 2, or you think they're going to try a 3 here?
I think right now just getting the ball in the basket is important. Will they find Truella? No, looks like Guilford's going to ISO. And there, foul's going to be called on the floor on Wilkes.
Yeah, and head coach Ryan Clark not too happy about that call.
Yeah, and I think right now, it almost puts Albion in a worse situation, though, with 1.9 on the clock.
Gotta catch and shoot.
Yeah, exactly. And that pass is just way off, so that's going to end the half. Looks like there might have been a little game clock error. Game clock started before the Brits touched the ball. Now we hear some pretty upset fans about that.
Yeah, yelling all around right now. And it looks like they're going to give them another opportunity to inbound at a different spot here. So not exactly sure. Maybe I got to take a look at the rule book here, but looks like they're resetting at where the ball came out.
Well, okay. So it looks like the shot clock, we're having a lot of game clock, shot clock errors. I bet you the refs are going to have to talk this one over with the guys on the game clock. Man, we're confused as well. So
yeah, but I do think they gave them that second opportunity to kind of fair it up there. I mean, I know that they gave them at least 2 seconds there, so I feel like all is well in terms of finishing off that second quarter. Just a little bit of shot clock error, and you know, when is that not the story here?
Right.
At Tisch Loveless Court. Unfortunately, we've had our stories, our trials and tribulations with the shot clock, so something that I kind of expected throughout the whole time. Either way, though, let's talk about what we're seeing. I mean, you can give us the spiel. I can give us the spiel. I mean, it's up to you here. A lot of good things to kind of talk about.
yeah, and I mean, we could go back and forth on this one. We know the Hornets have done a pretty good job on offense, very streaky right now. When they get on a roll, they really feel it. We've seen Sophia Moore play fantastic. Hogan has 6, Vanderstelt with 5. But as a team, collectively, they've done a pretty great job. I think my stat sheet is messed up. I'm pretty sure Wilkes has 6. But on Albion's end, Baker's doing a really good job attacking the rim. We saw Pannell going in and attacking. But Truella, quiet in the first half. She's been quiet in the first half a lot of these games. Mentioned that earlier. So interested to see if they give her the ball more, if she gets a little bit more confidence. And I don't know, what else are you seeing?
Yeah, well, what I'm seeing is kind of a little bit of a switch up between the first and second quarter, but the momentum felt the same. So you got 9 shots scored for Albion in that first and then 13 in the second. And then Kalamazoo 13 in the first and 11 in the second. So outscoring Albion in the first and then not outscoring Albion in the second. Felt that switch, right? But then when you talk about momentum, it just felt like the Hornets, I mean, it almost feels like the Hornets are winning by a larger margin right now. And that is really, really important because you can kind of run through that energy, carry that energy throughout the game and continue playing how you're playing. I mean, that's just really, really positive to see. But even when you look at everything all around, you got to talk about those blocks. Lauren Vanderstelt with 4 already in the first half here. So, again, another thing to keep your eye on. You got to also keep an eye on Ava Guilford, really doing her stuff for that Albion side, producing those assists, producing those shots. She's fighting in the paint. It feels like she continues to knock at the door. She's just waiting for the shot to fall, and that's something you got to be careful about. We keep talking about quiet players. Well, we're coming into the second half now. They're going to wake up, and let me tell you, maybe we might, I mean, shoot, I don't know how much they're going to wake up. I'm really excited here because you also have certain shots that aren't being made for this Hornets side that you kind of expect them to make. So still things that the Hornets are trying to wake up themselves. So it's not that both teams are to their fullest potential, but they're playing really hard, and you can tell. And now coming into the second half, I expect both teams to kind of reach that fullest potential, and we're going to be watching a very, very competitive basketball game.
100% agree with you there, Maya. They're just waiting for a spark and waiting to make some of these shots that they have been expecting themselves to make. So either way, we're going to take a quick break here at halftime. We'll be back with you in about 10 minutes or so, but we'll see you in a sec.
Alrighty, and just like that, we are back. We gave you an extra kind of minute or two to kind of catch your breath and figure out what type of snacks you want to get and set here for the second half of this women's basketball game. I mean, if you're just tuning in, I almost want to make you go back and watch that first half. There was a lot of growth on both sides. You had a lot of just defensive plays, right, Quinton? I mean, there's no other way that we can say it. Defensively, both teams on fire.
Yeah, 100% both teams defensively on fire. As you said, Maya, I'd like to mention turnovers haven't necessarily been as big as a problem. I think their defense is more overwhelming with the jump shots and the type of shots they're taking. But turnover-wise, Hornets having 5 turnovers, Albion having 4. Not necessarily too bad of numbers, especially going into halftime for teams that average 16 turnovers as the Albions and 20 for the Hornets. So kind of just great overwhelming shot defense and making the shot clock run down especially. I think that has been really important for both teams.
Well, it's going to be Peyton Baker to inbound here, and she's going to get it to a very well-known Guilford. Guilford really, just really knocking at that door. I kept using that kind of reference, and I just think she needs a couple more to get the shot through. And right there, Vanderstel coming up with a block, and that's something that she's known for, right? I mean, really good at that block.
Yeah, and Vanderstel is spoiling Truella's fun and opportunity today, trying to break that scoring record.
Guilford trying to connect with someone, will find Truella there. Truella working and still unable to fall as she came down, she bumped into Dinda, and that's going to get the call on Truella there.
Yeah, tough right now.
And I would expect a little bit of frustration coming off of her, right? Kind of hard, especially when she's used to producing. Robertson gets it to Dinda. Still working, finds a connection with Vanderstel. Vanderstel trying to work and makes that two through contestment. There you go, Vanderstel.
Gosh, I'd love to see Vanderstel get in the paint and make moves like that. She's such a great shooter. She's so diverse with her ability, but man, just really great savvy inside.
Yeah, more work here from Albion. A shot and just a little bit off there. It was nice by DJ Pannell. Robertson driving and not able to sink the two.
Yeah, that's uncharacteristic. You expect her to get that one every single time.
Guilford trying to find a connection. Will into the paint. And nothing to fall. And that's kind of been the back and forth right now. It's Hanen that was unable to get the two in. Sophia Moore back to Robertson. Robertson with space and not able to fall.
Man, and she kind of has a little smirk afterwards, too. She's confused, not used to missing those.
Yeah, you got the tallest player on the court right now for Albion. Hanen turning around and able to sink the two.
There she goes. She's been a little bit quieter. Haven't found her in the paint very much.
Anna Hanen, as I mentioned, 6'2" at height. So really kind of foot and foot there with Vanderstel. Vanderstel with the ball. Passes it over to Moore. Moore to Dinda. Dinda lets the three go. And off the rim. There for the rebound was Hogan, and she meets Guilford.
Yeah, a good rebound by Hogan. Always in that right place at the right time. It's just incredible the game sense she has. It's just kind of, it's really good to see.
Vanderstel from three. And just a little bit off the rim there. Albion trying to still make something happen here. Truella into the paint, gets it out. Baker from three, and that one's going to fall.
Yeah, and Truella not able to make it work offensively, so dishes it back out, and an unselfish play.
Robertson, Hogan now. Seeing if the Hornets are going to try to respond here as Dinda gets a hold of the ball. Vanderstel again, thinks about it, lets it fly, and that's short.
Yeah, and right now the Hornets just kind of, I mean, not bad shots at all. Robertson had a couple layups. Vanderstel a couple threes. Those are the shots you want them to take. So not a lot of complaints. Just got to see the ball go in the hoop.
Hanen now turns around, tries to get around Vanderstel, but Vanderstel's not going to let that slide. Moore figuring out to connect with Hogan. Hogan now thinking about driving and met with a lot of force there as the ball falls to Vanderstel Moore now. Dinda. And the pass just not able to handle it was Vanderstel.
Yeah, and just some errors right now. We see Cook come in. And honestly, I think Coach Clark right now, encouraging his team is the best thing he can do, because these are just minor mistakes right now. Little things that will start to fall into place.
Yeah, you said it. Guilford passes it out, and now Hanen, once again, she was met with Cook, but this time she's able to beat around the height.
Again, Hanen making it work. I think Coach Clark brought in Cook to get 2 taller players out there, but Cook's going to take the J.
And there it is from Josie Cook.
Yeah, and she's gotten more and more confident as the season's gone on shooting, and it's been working.
Yeah, she'll let the shot fly, and here they're looking to see the same. That one's a little bit short. Hanen really working into that paint in the past couple of moves here, but only able to produce 1-2 out of all the moves.
Nope.
Cook lets it fly from 3. Oh, and just off the rim.
Whew. That was a little scary. Can't leave her that wide open.
Got a driving Baker now, trying to move around. Vanderstel, she finds some room and not able to get the 2 there. And Vanderstel able to maintain possession there as Truella try to get in there defensively, and that's something like you mentioned earlier. Truella not able to produce too much offensively right now, but defensively trying to make her mark.
Yeah, and you see afterwards, assistant coach Evan Metz kind of talked to Truella, say like, hey, it's all right. Take a breather, you're okay. Move on to the next one.
Robertson passes it over to Hogan. Hogan finds Cook. Cook lets it fly. Oh, and just a little bit off again, but Cook, I mean, she's there. It's just a little bit off, the right amount of power, but just unable to connect with the rim. And now Truella moving and finding, able to find the rim and get the call as well.
And there it is, Maya. We have been waiting for something like that. And now Truella going to take a lot of weight off her team if she can keep that rolling.
Yeah, you'd figured Truella able to come out with the and one here. Going to bring her to the line. Opportunity here, and she makes it. Able to capitalize when she's at the line. Those small, kind of like football, right? All those flags are going to kind of lead up to the win here, and it's kind of creeping up on the Hornets as Albion sits 32-28 right now. Wilkes trying to connect with Allen and does. Allen now finds Hogan. Really, really good defense here from Albion. Hogan driving, still somehow gets it to Moore. Moore lets it fly, and that 3 sinks.
Boom, when they needed it. I mean, hard time getting some buckets right now. Even after Cook's shot, it didn't feel like they were back in the flow, but right there, kudos to Moore.
Yeah, Baker now trying to respond, will connect, and that two's gonna fall for Hanen.
That's just beautiful basketball. That's the type of basketball you need.
Wilkes lets it fly. That 3 falls.
And Maya, 3 is worth more than 2. We're all tied up right now.
There you go. The Hornets finding the 3-point line in the third quarter. Hanen now with around there. Come on. Really good basketball back and forth. Hanen making her claim right now in the third quarter. Super influential for this Albion side as Wilkes now passes it around to Allen. Allen gets it to Moore. Hogan now, and everybody's wary of that 3-point line. Allen finding some room, lets it fly. That 3 falls. 3 for 3 at the line. All 3 different shots, all 3 different players, and all 3 different points.
I mean, a sidestep 3, my goodness. Oh, that's pretty nice, I gotta say.
The crowd's coming alive, we're coming alive. Albion responding once more as Hanen gets into the paint. And there's Cook coming up with the block, but not before the whistle. Gonna bring Hanen to the line.
Yeah, and either way, foul is called. Can't be too upset with Cook's defensive ability there because Hanen has been doing a really good job on her, and right there, the aggression from Cook is a good sign.
Yeah, like exactly how you just said it. You can't be mad with the defensive pressure that the Hornets are applying because it's working out for them. Again, Cook just a little bit on, maybe clipped a little bit of that Albion player and then going to get the foul call. Either way, Hanen comes up to the line in just a moment to try to get on the scoreboard more. I mean, I don't know. Hanen is coming alive, right? And not a player that we initially had on our, keep an eye on list, right? But she is really, really making her claim here, really showing out her stuff. Her height is coming into play, and that is just all positive all around.
Yeah, and Hanen, a junior coming from Olivet formerly, she is, as you said, coming into her own right now. I think that physicality in the paint is huge. They're trying to use the matchup against Cook. I know Vanderstel is coming back in right now, so she might have a little bit more trouble because while Cook is a good defensive player, Vanderstel is a great shot blocker.
Yeah.
And she's blocked Hanen's shot a couple times so far.
Yeah, and I'll say, as long as Hanen stays in, you're going to have to respond with another tall player on this Hornets side. So you'd expect Vanderstel or Cook to stay in for a majority of the game here if Hanen stays on the line. And Hanen with an opportunity here to equalize. And that's off the board.
Yeah, and Hanen doesn't get to the line too often.
Hanen now. In and out there. So unable to convert with either shot. But I'll tell you what, if she can drive into that paint, she'll get that two right back. So something that the Hornets are going to have to be wary of as Hogan drives, takes a step back, goes for the two, and off the back rim, gets her own rebound. Finds Allen. Allen lets it fly. And the three is just a little bit off. Not before it gets back to Moore. Wilkes now. Hogan. Vanderstel takes a moment. Tries to dribble around Hanen. Almost gets the two. Hogan now. And that falls.
Maya, 3 offensive rebounds there. Multiple chances. One of them is going to fall.
Yeah, really. I mean, you just got to take your pick at which one you want to fall. As Baker gets it to Hanen. Hanen now passes it back out to the hands of Truella. And that one falls for her. So maybe you got something coming alive for Albion as this Hornet offense is breathing nice and well here. Truella starts to wake up. Hogan, a lot of room. And makes it fall. That's 2 for Hogan.
Yeah, and might have been a 3 back in the day, but with that three-point line moving back, just a 2, 1 step back, and you would have had it.
Guilford tries to get it to Baker, but the pass was kind of a little bit off. Baker now with some fancy moves, driving into the paint. Finds Hanen, and they're going to call the travel here.
Yeah, and Albion not used to this. They have had such a great season, wins against Calvin, wins against Hope, 2 incredible teams. And right now, the Hornets are surprising them a little bit.
And Sophia Moore with the ball. Vanderstel now one-on-one against Hanen. Gets around her, and there you, I mean, come on. Lauren Vanderstel. She's just doing anything on the court right now.
And Hanen getting a little taste of her own medicine. We've seen her do that a couple times in this game.
Hanen now. Couple moves here before dropping it off. Guilford with the ball. Hanen once more. Gonna go one-on-one with Vanderstel, and Vanderstel comes up with the block.
Yeah, and a really great job again from Vanderstel. Ah, man, going inside on the paint when you're up against Vanderstel is scary. It's just, it's impossible to try to get a shot off sometimes.
Well, Hanen gives it one more attempt as Wilkes comes up with the rebound. Wilkes with Guilford on her back, gets it to Allen. Allen to Vanderstel. Vanderstel to Moore. Moore back to Wilkes. Wilkes finding some room. Holds on to it. Moore connects with Vanderstel. Vanderstel against Hanen. And they call the foul against Hanen. A little bit too much pressure applied by her there.
Yeah, and too physical in the paint. Just too much body. And I think the refs calling that one, making sure it doesn't get too physical either.
It just, the momentum continues to build and build. Frustrations build. And now trying to get a hold of it here. Vanderstel up against Hanen once more.
Ooh.
Met with two as Baker is able to kind of apply the pressure. No call there.
That's really good defense by the Brits. A good double.
Yep, Guilford now taking a moment to slow it down. And that's something you want to see from this Albion side. Control the game. Take a couple dribbles. Guilford still keeping control here as she decides to drive. And it's a little bit short of the two. And Wilkes gets all up in there for a jump ball.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, though, as we hit the end of the third quarter. And Maya, we got a great game on our hands.
I mean, I'm running out of words. I mean, I keep saying, like, the same phrases for every shot being made. I keep reusing all the good ones here. And it's because they're playing so well. This Hornet side coming alive, you mentioned it earlier, right? Albion team is no joke. I mean, They are coming in with wins under their belt that the Hornets have yet to attain. And yet here they are, foot in foot. And it's a close game, so really it could go either way still. You got the fourth quarter to figure it out. What do you think? Biggest improvements, biggest kind of positives on both sides? Kind of give us a spiel here in the last minute.
I think the Hornets right now, you give so much credit to some of those offensive rebounds. There was one possession, I think they got maybe 3 or 4 offensive rebounds. Of course, it's going to result in a shot made. And right now, that quarter just being super physical on those boards. Defensively for the Hornets, they're doing a pretty good job. A nice block by Vanderstel, good defense on Hanen. And I think credit to the Brits, though. They stuck through that one, even though technically the Hornets outscored them. They did a really good job in responding in quiet ways. You don't need big shots to stay in the game, but sometimes those big shots push you over the line. The Brits are going to be looking for one of those, and I'm really interested to see who shows up. We're looking for Truella, of course, but honestly, there are a lot of players who are capable of that on the Brits squad.
Yeah, and Truella, as you mentioned, has been creeping and creeping. This could be her quarter where she kind of just has that spark, has that burst of energy. And then you talk about players like Anna Hanen. I mean, she has just been phenomenal in the paint for this Albion side. I really want to credit her to keeping Albion in this game even. As Hogan has control of the ball here. Loses it, able to still get it over to Vanderstel. And now looks like Allen has control of the ball. Gets it over to Hogan. Almost loses it in the process. Moore. Wilkes now. And you can tell all the Albion players wary of that three-point line as Baker comes up in there and able to kind of force a jump ball call.
Yeah, and again, talked about that defense intensity. A really great way to start out the last quarter for the Brits. I think they're going to start swarming a lot more whenever a player drives inside, or tries to at least.
Yep, here it is. Baker gets it to Hanen. Hanen able to try to get it back over to Baker, and they're going to get the call on Ruby Hogan.
Yeah, I think that one's an off-ball foul. Kind of strange. You don't see Hogan get a lot of calls, especially off-ball in the paint.
And connected here with Baker. Baker lets it fly, and that three falls. There's that bench coming to life for Albion now as Sophia Moore looks for a response.
And that might be that big shot I was talking about. Highly contested. That's impressive.
Ruby Hogan gets it over to Vanderstel. Vanderstel now passes over to Wilkes. Wilkes with a couple of dribbles before giving it over to Allen. And Allen quickly hands it over. Wilkes now still trying to find a way. Guilford up on her. Hogan thinks about driving. She will. Gets it, and they're going to call a foul.
They're calling it on the floor. Hornets confused about that. Even Albion's confused about that.
Yeah,
they're lining up.
Everybody lined up here. Did not expect it. And the foul's going to be on Desiree Skirka. Number 2 there, as you see her come off the court. Bringing back on DJ Pinnell. And Pinnell, I'm actually glad they brought her back on. A really, really strong player in terms of driving that paint. And if you tie that in with Hanen, you're looking at a different game possibly, as Allen gets about ready here to inbound. Allen gets it to Vanderstel. Vanderstel back to Allen, and now Hogan goes for the 3, and that falls!
Whoa, okay.
You could say they're trading 3 for 3, blow for blow here, as Guilford gives it over to Baker. Baker gets over everyone, gets it to Hanen, and Hanen gets good for 2.
Yeah, good separation in the paint from Hanen. That is the textbook way to set yourself up, post up against Vanderstel. A great bucket.
Hogan with control, gives it off to Moore. Moore finding some type of way, as Baker has really good placement, and they're going to call the travel on Moore before anything could happen.
Yeah, and that's, not ideal for the Hornets. They've gotten better at that as the season's gone on, kind of limiting those travels and those minor errors.
Guilford gives it off, and now Truella with the ball. Pinnell gives it to Hanen. Hanen now met with a little bit of pressure. Guilford goes up on one-on-one against, and that's going to fall one-on-one against Wilkes. Guilford able to get the and one.
Maya, that shot almost went over the backboard. It hit right at the very top. A really nice move.
Yeah, you can call it luck or you can call it technique. Guilford, either way, comes out with 2, and then as well as an opportunity at the line here.
Yeah, and you can argue there's no such thing as luck in basketball. Depends on who you are. But right there, yeah, you can't complain about that either way if you're an Albion fan.
Yeah, Guilford able to tie it up here as she goes one-on-one against Robertson. Ooh. Guilford picks off Robertson a little bit, and Robertson doing a good job to keep it into the half. And that's nice to see here. You can tell tensions are getting high, but Sophia Moore is showing some good sportsmanship, picking up Baker off the floor.
Yeah, and Maya all tied up at 46. Right now, I think the Hornets not feeling necessarily defeated, but losing a little bit of that spark right now.
Yup, as Hanen tries to reconnect with Pinnell, and that's not going to work, as Guilford lets it fly from 3 and just off the rim. Hornets take a sigh of relief as Hogan drives, trying to create some room for herself, gets it to Robertson. Robertson with some room. Ops to go Dinda to Hogan. Hogan to Vanderstel. Vanderstel for 2, and that's good.
Both of them kind of going back and forth in that paint area. Vanderstel draws a little body, gets a little space. A really nice shot.
Guilford one-on-one with Robertson. Hands it off. I believe that's Baker who gets it over. Letting it fly from 3 and just off the rim. Hogan is there to clean it up. That was Truella trying to get that 3 to go as Moore drives in. Gets the 2 and the 1. And you can tell, she is just on fire tonight.
And she is pumped up after that one. Man, a great shot, a great way to draw contact. She does that so well.
Chance here to grow the lead. That one rolls out. So that's not going to fall for Sophia Moore, but you got to give her the credit for that beautiful 2. She's had a couple crazy shots as Guilford tries to get around Robertson before, I believe that's a timeout called. So a lot of different whistles going around, you could say.
Yeah, timeout. I'm trying to understand what's going on. I think the refs are talking to the clock management right now. But either way, really good things from the Hornets right now. I think something about Moore that has developed throughout this season, not only just confidence in general, making those types of shots, but also being able to see her craft. There are some shots she takes that you're surprised she's taking them to begin with, but she's able to make them, and she doesn't do anything too flashy. But when she needs to get some separation midair or draw that kind of contact, making it work.
Yeah, like you said, really, really good work offensively right now. We've been talking about the defensive game all night, and that continues to stay true, right? They're forcing shots on both sides. It's almost like these two teams are playing at the same level, and you can't choose one side yet. Obviously, right now, the Hornets outweighing this Albion side 50-46, but there's not a lot of notes that we can give you as broadcasters other than the fact that it looks like the Hornets kind of found that key that I was talking about earlier. They were getting those turnovers. They were getting kind of those rebounds, but they weren't able to produce from those rebounds or those turnovers. And now in the second half, it kind of looks like they're able to do so. And you can tell by the point difference here as Guilford starts to figure out a path. And Truella goes up, gets met by Vanderstel. Now everybody's on the floor. And gonna give possession over.
Okay. Hey, that's a Clark classic. Coach Carden called a timeout right as Truella had the ball underneath the basket. Coach Clark does that frequently when it's, the ball is in danger of possibly being a jump ball. So,
yeah,
good job by Coach Carden.
Yeah, really good job there, and it's going to give them some chance here to kind of clean it up because it looked like both sides kind of came out a little bit sloppy out of the timeout. So another opportunity here to clean it up on both sides. It's going to be a quick huddle for this Hornets side. It looks like they kind of already knew why it was a timeout, kind of what they need to handle. And soon enough, Albion will kind of come out of their huddle as well.
Yeah, and something I'd like to mention, we've been talking about kind of the reason for the Hornets taking these nice leads here and there. I think something we're not talking about enough is the pace they're playing at. They're playing at a really good pace right now. Albion kind of staying slow offensively. Let's see if that changes.
Baker tries to connect with Truella, and Sophia Moore is able to kind of break that up. A little bit of conversation as Baker tries to get some clarification on the call. Vanderstel to inbound. Looks like she's either going to connect, and she will connect with Hogan. I was going to say either her or Robertson, but opts for Hogan here, as per usual. Hogan up against Guilford. Movement. Connects with Vanderstel. Vanderstel drives and finds the rim and the bucket. Vanderstel coming out of the drive with 2 points added to the scoreboard. Connection down in the middle with Truella, and she's going to respond.
That is a dime from Baker, getting through a huge crowd. Yeah, fantastic pass.
Hogan, a couple of dribbles, trying to figure out her route of attack as she connects with Dinda. Dinda scary at that three-point line. Hogan also scary. Gets it over to Robertson, and Robertson has been a little bit more quiet into the second half as Sophia Moore has to let the Dinda from three off the rim. Either way, going to reset the shot clock.
Okay.
Yeah, waiting to kind of see the signals here. They're going to call something on Sophia Moore, I believe.
I think what they're doing is the shot clock didn't reset in time when the Hornets regained possession. So I think what they're doing is just giving it to them in the corner and resetting the shot clock.
There you go. And now waiting to get it in. Hogan at the top of the arc. Finds Vanderstel. Vanderstel drives, and nothing there. He's going to get the call.
Well, they're calling on the floor before the shot got off. Interesting. Okay.
A couple of more interesting shots as a timeout's going to get called here. So it's kind of been timeout after timeout, and that tends to break up momentum a little bit, which is what I felt just now. It kind of feels like, okay, neither team right now is carrying that great energy. Both sides still doing a really, really great job, just not really that momentum that I've been talking about on either side right now. So I'm looking to see who comes out of this timeout to kind of reclaim that tempo. You talked about the speed in which the Hornets were playing. I agree completely with that. They have been playing high-level basketball game as they usually do, but they've been playing at that quick tempo.
Yeah.
And maintaining that speed, able to go one-on-one here with Albion. Albion for a moment had that full court press, if you remember. I believe it was in the second quarter. And they maintained that for that quarter, and then it looks like they're leaning off of that right into the third and the fourth quarter. You kind of see they bring that back if they can, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they have enough in the tank to bring that back, I would like to see them bring it back. It was working for them in that second quarter. They were able to kind of keep the points close. The shots made in that second quarter very, very close. So maybe that's something that they kind of have to reintroduce into their game, because right now the Hornets are sitting 52 and Albion at 48. So still a primarily close game for what they're used to.
Yeah, and that's a really good observation, because those presses can be really, really good, but sometimes it allows your offense, or the team you're pressing against, to take advantage of it.
Moore lets it fly and connects. Not much I can say on that shot other than a beautiful three.
Yep. Really great ball movement, too much separation. Going to take it every single time.
Yeah, I got to apologize for yelling in your ear. I mean, this game just gets better and better as time goes on. And here, Baker got it picked off by Hogan, and then Hogan took a tumble. Truella finds it and unable to connect at the rim. They're going to call the foul. Bring Truella. It's going to be Albion possession. I was going to say Truella at the line. Yeah, I was correct.
Yeah, and we see Coach Clark pretty upset about that loose ball. Saw Hogan trying to get it and wanted to see a call there, but...
And Truella's going to make her time at the line worth it as she makes the first. You can tell Hogan still having a little bit of conversation with the official.
Right, and those loose ball fouls are really hard to call because, both teams given physicality, you call it one way, you call it the other, and there, sometimes a no call is the best choice as a ref.
Yeah, so that foul call is going to hurt a little bit as now it's just a 2-point game. Hogan, a lot of room, lets it fly off the back rim. So lucky there from Albion, as maybe Albion was doing that on purpose, but gave a lot of room to Hogan to let that shot fly. A little bit more as now it looks like Truella going around, trying to get around Hogan, can't find the rim, gets her own rebound, met with like 4 different players. Guilford able to find the ball, still unable to come out with the 2. And Moore able to rip it out of their hands before getting the foul called on her.
Yeah, and a lot of chaos right now from the Hornets bench because, they thought Moore got it quick enough to not have it be called a jump ball. But, aside for Coach Clark's intensity right now, on court, Hornets are staying pretty calm and collected.
Yeah, now Skirka, number 2, gives it over to Baker. Baker back to Skirka. Guilford. And the shot clock is running down as Baker tries to get past Dinda. And they call the foul here, and that makes the bench make a little bit more happy over there on that Hornet half.
Yeah, they've been wanting to get rewarded for their good defense that they've been having, and that travel is a reward for it. Making players get uncomfortable and make mistakes.
Hogan gives it off to Moore. Moore finds Robertson. Robertson lets it fly and just off as Moore is there for the rebound and gets the 2.
Always in that right spot, Maya. They keep finding those offensive rebounds.
Guilford trying to respond with some speed but gets caught up with Robertson. So she has to kind of take a breath as Baker lets it fly and unable to sink the 2. Robertson gives it over to Moore. Moore.
Okay. And that does happen sometimes. You're trying to figure out, who you're going to pass it to. And Moore was trying to find Hogan there, but just kind of picked up her dribble. I don't know if it was necessarily like a pickup of the dribble, just kind of held it upstairs too long. So timeout now, but still can celebrate for the Hornets.
Yeah, tell us a little bit of what you kind of have to see for the final just over 2 minutes, about 2 minutes, 43 seconds. So what do both teams got to do? Because it seems like we've been talking about the positives. What is something that maybe both teams has to just clean up in order to kind of secure the W here?
Yeah, and I think the Hornets' intensity on defense is perfect. You're not playing too physical. You're not playing too light off those really great shooters. Albion right now, they're forcing it. That's the only problem they have. Defensively, they're doing okay. They have to pick up their pace defensively, catch up on defense because Kalamazoo's kind of outrunning them right now. But I also think Albion, some of the shots they've been taking, they need to take their time a little bit. You know, you still have a lot of time left in this game. You're down by 3 possessions, but 3 possessions at max is a minute and a half on offense. So, I don't know, just figure out that offense, run your sets, because when they've ran those sets, they take good shots. They've taken a lot of good shots, but the last few times they've been forcing it a little bit.
Well, there you go. Now they're coming out of the huddle. As I mentioned before, 2 minutes, 43 seconds. Hornets sitting at 57 points. And Albion College at 50 points. As Guilford looks for a response, gets it over to Baker. Baker passes it into Skirka. Skirka tries to connect with, I believe that's Truella. And the ball comes out, is loose all over the floor. And there's some type of foul call there.
Yeah, Albion's going to be called for the foul. Vanderstelt had it on the ground, I think. Skirka is going to be called for it. Trying to get that jump ball, but Vanderstelt does a good job keeping it away.
Yeah, and Skirka's going to step off and make room for Hanen. So really, I was just about to mention how Skirka steps on, created a lot of trouble. And now you're going to trade a weapon for a weapon as Hanen steps back in.
Yeah, Baker trying to call for the travel on Hogan. Thought Hogan took an extra step early. So that's going to give the Hornets 1-1 at the line, or excuse me, 2 shots at the line.
Well, here it is. Hogan has an opportunity to grow this 3-possession game. First one falls for Hogan.
Yeah, they haven't gotten to the line too much today, but now in the bonus, you're going to see that quite a bit more.
And the second one is good as well.
Feels really good as the Hornets. You can take, a tiny bit of a side. This game's far from over, but still gaining the lead.
Guilford uses the screen from Hanen and trying to get up there and get the bucket. No luck, but it is going to draw a foul.
Yeah, and you don't have your hands straight up. They're going to call it most of the time. And I like the intensity from Robertson, but now we got Gilman at the line.
Yeah, and they're going to actually take the time to have a little quick huddle on the sideline, if you can see it on your screen, as Guilford sinks the first one.
Yeah, that's something Coach Carden does. Has her team meet up on the first and then go back in the lane on the second.
Guilford with the second, no good. Vanderstelt gets it to Robertson. Robertson, Guilford on her back leg. Dinda with some room. She slows it down. Dinda drives. And I believe that's a timeout called as Ryan Clark decides to slow down the game.
Yeah, I really like that timeout. We're just about at the 2-minute mark here.
Yeah, I got to agree.
With Dinda taking it into the lane, I like that she didn't take that shot because you're trying to wind the clock down. But he saw that it might have been a dangerous situation for Dinda in the paint. So good timeout there.
Yeah, especially you don't want to give up a play that's going to give up momentum, if that makes sense.
Oh,
right there, I feel like if Dinda would have lost possession or some type of defensive play from Albion would have been well enough, the momentum would have switched. So good call there by head coach Ryan Clark to kind of clean up any type of mistake or error that could have happened right there. And now Hornets with an opportunity to play a little bit cleaner coming out of the timeout. Albion trying to look for a response. They have been doing everything right. I mean, they have just been answering every call, and they've even brought back the maybe not really full court press, but they have been more man-to-man. And now Dinda with room and a little bit short there from her. That would have been momentum for the Hornets as Truella goes in, but not without the block from Vanderstelt.
Really, really great job by Vanderstelt. She has 11 tonight, but defensively has been so good.
And Guilford inbounds. Try to connect with Truella, but pass gets broken up. Hogan trying to get two. And there's that block, but Pinnell. Hogan coming out with her own rebound. Vanderstelt now. And they're going to call the offensive foul, I believe, maybe.
Nah, they called the block, I think.
There you go.
Yeah, they called the block on Baker, which is going to give Vanderstelt shots at the line here. And honestly, the Hornets not slowing down. I mean, with 1:45 left, you're up by 8. You think you start slowing it down, start letting the clock tick by. The first one, no good from Vanderstelt. But still, foot on the gas, trying to grow that lead.
Well, second one is good. As a couple players get tied up. Moore was on the floor. Hannen was on the floor. Guilford driving against Robertson. Robertson not letting up any room. Pass to Hannen is clear, and Hannen with the two.
Yeah, and that is a tough one because, you know, Vanderstelt hands up, but if you're behind the person shooting anywhere on the court and you get a little bit of contact, a bump in the back is always going to lead for that player at the line. So this gives Albion a chance here, cutting it down if Hannen can make this one.
Well, Hannen pretty strong at the line. As she sinks that one.
Yeah, and that's a really nice make because it makes it a 2-possession game, 6-point game. A team that hasn't shot a lot of threes, though. Still kind of a 3-possession game, but...
Yeah, and this Hornet team has to keep it under wraps. You can't let it go flying. And with a pass like that and an interception by Skirka, I mean, there's not much you can do. Baker lets it fly from 3. That one's no good. And Vanderstelt trying to come out with the ball. And Hogan able to rip it away. Gets it back over to Vanderstelt. And now a bunch of pressure being applied, and that's going to force a call. Guilford a little bit too much contact on Vanderstelt.
Yeah, and right there, they had a chance to cut that lead down after some really great defense on the press. You were talking about that press. They brought it back. It gave the Hornets trouble early in the game. I was surprised, actually, to not see it implemented a little bit more when they've been down. And, you know, still a lot of time left. Let's see if it makes a bigger impact.
Vanderstelt good for the first. So Albion just has to be careful with these foul calls. They cannot afford to give up any more points here, as Vanderstelt is good for the second as well. So she's doing her job at the line, off the line, defensively, offensively. Whatever you got to say, she has a response as Guilford hands it over to Pinnell, and that 3 is good.
Whoa. I mean, that is, wow, that is a crazy shot late in this game. Had no idea she had that in. I mean, she plays quite a bit for the squad. She's played every game this season, but showing up when it matters most. We've got a 5-point game.
Especially when we've been used to Pinnell kind of driving into that paint in the first half. All of a sudden, she decides to step back and get that 3 loose. Well, that's something the Hornets are going to have to be wary because you cannot let that slide. You got a minute left, a minute and 1 second at that. But you got a minute left. You're up 2 possessions. Oh, you got it. It's a tight game, but you got to keep it clean on both sides if you want to kind of get more points. If you're Albion, you got to keep it clean. You got to keep it tight. You got to connect those shots. You got to connect those passes more so. Don't give up any fouls. And then for this Hornet side, you just can't give up the turnover right now.
Yeah, and a minute and 1 second left. That 3-point shot came within only 7 seconds of them having the ball. I mean, that was a quick shot. And right now, the Hornets, we talk about how we thought at least they were going to take their time. At least I thought personally they're going to take their time. What do you think, Mai? Do you think they take their time? Do you think they kind of put their foot on the gas still, or? Yeah,
I feel like right now, I can't say that the Hornets completely control the tempo, but I'd say that they have most control at most times, and I'd say I think they take their opportunities. If they have some time and some room, then you get a couple extra dribbles in, you waste the clock a little bit. But I think if Albion's pushing and pushing, then you just got to respond. If there's no way to slow it down, then just keep it going. And that looks like what Albion's trying to do here as they go to a full court press.
Yeah, and this is big.
Still trying to connect here, and we'll find Robertson. Robertson with 2 on her. And just unfortunate, able to connect with Moore as Moore tries to get the pass over to Allen, but not before the timeout is called.
Yeah, a good timeout from Coach Clark. I'm not sure what they can. Ooh. Okay, so I see what's going on. Coach Carden's trying to argue. Shot clock is at 21 seconds. That's more than 8. And you have to cross half court within 8 seconds in college ball. So right there, kind of some confusion from the referees. You know, not all the time the shot clock and the referees count is going to line up. So I think that's what they're doing right now, is to talk it over with the clock crew. And I think they are going to reset it to 22 seconds.
Yeah, so it looks like they're really going to have to inbound quickly here.
Yeah, and, you know, Clark's timeout probably came off of just watching the referees count.
Yeah, you got to give credit to Albion's full court press right there. Yeah. I mentioned how well that worked out for them in that second quarter, and now they're bringing it back. Again, I wish maybe if they brought it back a little bit earlier, they'd be in a little bit of a different position right now. But either way, they bring it back, and now it's up to the Hornets to kind of get it in quickly and get it into the other half even quicker.
And speed is everything.
As Robertson gets a little bit too much on her. Skirka was trying to get in between that ball and the pass there, but it was too much. Going to give an opportunity to Robertson to get on the line and get some more points onto her score sheet.
Yeah, and you know, Skirka right there now going to be coming out. I think that is going to be her 4th after that. But, you know, you don't mind that type of effort to try to get the steal.
Robertson. First one is a little bit short off the front of the rim.
And she needs this one here if you want to make it a 6-point game. A team that hadn't shot a lot of threes, making them shoot threes would be probably ideal for the Hornets.
Second one is good. She comes through to making this at least 2 3-point shots. Guilford hands it off to Pennell. Pennell met up with Dinda, and then Hanen with a pretty good screen. Pennell off the board, and that falls for 2. And you can see the whole bench from that Albion side saying, hurry up. Sophia Moore now driving, gets met with Pennell, and then waiting for the call.
Yeah, so a good block, I think, from Pennell underneath. Coach Clark, I think, wanted a foul there. I'm not too sure, but, you know, I guess the bank is open for Pennell, and that's a really good shot.
You got to be careful. You got 31 seconds on the clock. You got 24 on the shot clock, and it's only a 3-point game as Ruby Ogun gets it over to Robertson. Robertson met with Guilford, and Guilford fouls.
Yeah, and that was the plan. You let some time come off the clock. And now just need Robertson to make these 2, at least 1.
Yeah, I got to look for at least 1 here from Robertson. Freshman power playmaker. And that one's a little bit short off the front of the rim. Opportunity here. Second is good for Robertson, and that has got to feel like a little bit of pressure off her shoulders. Baker trying to find some type of path here, gets it over to Guilford. Guilford met with Robertson. Guilford lets it fly, and that one's no good. Vanderstel on the floor, and there's the call.
Okay, so this is going to take them to the line. And a lot of time came off on the clock there. Probably
4.5 seconds left.
Not the worst situation for Albion, because they wanted to get that 3 ball in, of course. But they didn't lose possession. They still have a chance to make 2. And Pennell has done a pretty good job shooting.
Yeah, Pennell, these are the moments that matter for her. She's going to have to get these in. First one is good for Pennell. And DJ Pannell at a 50% at the free throw line.
Yeah, hasn't gotten to the line too much this season, as we talked about. Hasn't been in a whole lot.
And is good for the second, so that's going to help out tons. As this is now just a 2-point game. You got 4.5 seconds left. Hornets just got to hold on to it if they can for 4.5 seconds. I mean, what are the options here, Quentin?
Yeah, you have to foul. I mean, there's no other way you can do this. You think maybe if you're tied up, you don't foul, of course. You want to try to let them take that risk. And right now with 4.5, you can't let them waste the time. I don't know. Right now, of course, it's in the Hornets' favor, not only because they're up, but because they have possession. If you're going to foul anyone, Robertson, she's made a couple at the line, but hasn't been super consistent. But first, if you have the chance to not allow them to get the ball in.
That would be
that's the most ideal, yes.
That would be wild if they are able to kind of stop the inbound and gain possession. That is possibly the best case scenario for them.
And they've done a really good job of it, though. They haven't gotten turnovers off of the inbound pass itself. But right now, overcommitting is what you have to do. Any sort of tip on the ball can help it go in your direction.
Here we go. And you can feel kind of like the atmosphere within Tisch Lovelace court. You got Albion supporters praying for things to go their way. You got the Hornets supporters just wanting them to close it out here. As Sophia Moore connects with Hogan, and then they're going to call the foul, off-ball foul, I believe, right?
Oh, that's kind of actually, that's actually not the worst situation in the world. Because Wilkes is going to get 2 at the line, and Wilkes isn't that, Wilkes can shoot, but it didn't take any time off the clock here.
Wilkes short with the first one. 21% at the free throw line. Excuse me, 41% at the free throw line. And she sinks the second. Oh, that helps just a little bit, as a 2 is not going to be good enough now. They got to make sure they don't send this game into overtime, so protect the three-point line. If the Hornets are to go into overtime, they did have that 2 overtime win recently, as Baker inbounds to Guilford. Guilford doesn't touch the ball yet, and Robertson to Baker. Baker makes the 3! Baker, when she's needed the most, is able to bake the 3.
Oh my goodness, Maya.
She lets it fly. Looking like Clayton Clark out there. 65-65, and we have an overtime game.
Wow.
Quentin, I only blame myself. I brought it up, and you know what? Whoever's listening, blame me. Don't blame anyone else. Blame me, because that one right there, that was shocking. You got a tied-up game. Overtime for everyone.
Maya, I was about to say, as if the Hornets want to win this, they just can't foul. They just got to put a hand up. And that shot right there is the shot they probably wanted to see Albion take. Super far out. Not necessarily contested, but, I mean, that is just so impressive. Going into overtime, back-to-back games going into overtime for the Hornets now. Wow.
And you almost kind of feel for the Hornets. They have played the majority of this game just a little bit better than this Albion side. And then it gets to this final 4.5 seconds. The inbound was there. Maybe there's not much you could do. Robertson couldn't touch the ball, right? So she had to wait. And then, I'm in shock right now. If you're from this Albion College side, go ahead. When you see Peyton Baker at your next class, give her some type of, give her some type of handshake, some type of head nod, whatever you can, as the tip is won.
Yeah, give her some love.
By the Hornets. Hogan now connects with Vanderstel. Vanderstel reconnects with Hogan. Hogan lets it fly, and that one's short. Vanderstel there for the rebound, though. And they call.
Oh. So clock, I think, has to be reset. I think it didn't reset in time.
All right, so a little bit of shot clock error here. And Dinda inbounds to Vanderstel. Vanderstel gets it to Hogan. Hogan one-on-one with Pinnell before she passes it off to Moore. Moore lets it fly off the back rim. No luck there as Albion regains possession. I mean, this is just a breath of new life as Hanin has her back and now hands it over. There you go, Truella. Banks some two right there. Hogan takes a couple of dribbles.
They need to get a shot here. They've lost some intensity after that buzzer shot to tie it, and right now need to see the ball go in the basket.
Robertson drives, and there's the two that you've been looking for.
And that's how you need to do it as well. Always able to make a shot, so quick on the court.
Pinnell gives it over, and now some movement here by the rim, unable to bank the two. Hanin's there for the cleanup, and that's two.
Yeah, right now, Albion's getting in the paint real easy-like.
Yeah, the Hornets just got to take a breath. It's hard. You got to take a breath. Robertson drives, almost gets the two, but gets the foul call, and that's going to bring her to the line. But I want to say, Quentin, it's hard to come back after a team just made a shot like the one we've seen, right?
Oh, yeah,
Like
100%.
Momentum, it just has to change. Momentum has to go to the team that makes the shot. So right now their job is to kind of regain that. Bring back that confidence as Robertson's at the line. Robertson, good for the first after a couple of bounces off the rim. They needed that one.
Yeah, and that is good to see. Bucket in the hoop. Want to keep it tied up here.
Robertson, second attempt here. And that one falls.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, though. You get a lane violation, I think, from Robertson herself.
Yeah, unfortunate there, but either way, able to bank one. Closing the point difference just a little bit as Guilford drives. Baker, I mean, maybe you got to be wary with her at that distance now.
Oh, my.
A really nice pass and almost gets a two as well as Truella. Sparks are starting to fly from her feet.
Yeah, a really good pass. At first, I thought it was super risky, but the risk paid off.
Truella sinks the first. This is a 2-point game now. She wants to make it a 3. That'd be best case scenario. Truella trying to sink the second here. And that one's good as well. And look at that Albion bench just coming alive. Already shorter bench than this Hornets side.
Right. They may be small, but mighty.
Hogan now. She has to be a little bit conservative here. Lets the fly go. And there it is. A nice two there. Gain some confidence points. Close the gap a little bit. You're looking at 70-71. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the game clock.
Yeah, good defense from Moore. Got the tip on it to Truella. That is your main goal. Truella, we know, late in the game, she gets very intense and becomes a whole different player, if anything. And with those last few shots, she becomes the all-time single-season scoring holder.
There you go. Congratulations to her. As Guilford connects with Pinnell. Pinnell gets it into Hanin. Hanin, shot clock is dwindling down. Pinnell lets it fly. Contested by Hogan. Hanin unable. And possession gets over to the Hornets side. That's best case scenario right there.
And I don't know what was going on the Albion side. It kind of looked like a traffic jam almost. The screens just weren't used quite correctly.
Robertson drives instead, goes back out to Hogan. Hogan able to maintain possession, gets it to Moore. Moore lets it fly, and just off the rim. You wanted that to go in for her. For the Hornets in general, Pennell now. And Guilford. Hanen now. Takes a couple of dribbles, met by Dinda. Trurella, you can't give her too much room. Trurella gets around one and sinks the two.
Wow, that is a fantastic move.
Took her some work, but able to get it done. And now they call the foul against Pennell, I believe. Could be Baker.
Yeah, calling out on Baker. So blocking foul. This gives Robertson a good chance at the line. She's gotten to the line a lot late in this game.
Samaje Robertson at the free throw line. Good for the first, nice and clean, and keeping wary of the line.
I was just about to say, watching that.
And the second is no good, but looking for the scoreboard to kind of fix up here, and they will. Guilford.
Oh, good defense from Robertson right there. It's physical, but it's clean.
Trurella going one-on-one with Moore. Off the rim, Vanderstel able to get there in time, and now they call. Loose ball foul.
Yeah. So now she's out. That's her fifth. And that really hurts because she has been so great. Yeah, and Guilford taking a seat. You won't forget her, but it's going to.
She brings the pressure when
does.
needed. And that's going to hurt just a little bit. First one no good. Vanderstel needs to get this one down. And that one goes in and out. Moore trying to get it to again and gets the foul call.
And they've had so many chances at the line. A really great rebound from Moore. Got to make it work now and get these two shots in.
They brought in number 12, Neal, for Guilford. First one is good for Sophia Moore. Albion crowd trying to help out. Second one is good for Sophia Moore, and those might be the two most important free throw shots of the game. As it's tied up, under a minute left. Pennell trying to find a way around Robertson, gives to Baker. Baker now trying to find a way, and gets loose.
Oh.
And they call something here.
Yeah, looks like Robertson got Trurella as she was going through the lane, and it's kind of best case scenario though for Albion because Trurella is so good at the line, shooting around 83%. That's
got to hurt for this Hornet side just a little bit. As Trurella is good for the first. So the Hornets sitting at the deficit. Trurella looking for a second. Lets it fly, and that one's good as well. 44 seconds on the clock. Ruby Hogan behind the ball. Hogan, couple of dribbles. Met with Pennell. Hogan connects with Vanderstel. Vanderstel spins. Vanderstel, no luck. Trying to get the rebound. Baker is there. And now Trurella gonna just look to slow it down. Ruby Hogan able to foul. 18 seconds left. And unfortunate that they had to foul Trurella.
Yeah, they found Trurella as quick as they could after that miss from Vanderstel. They knew they were going to have to foul. And if Terrell makes both of these here, Kalamazoo is in a dire, dire situation.
Trella, good for the first. This one she has to put away. Trella, good for the second, and that might just do it. As Ryan Clark calls a timeout. Oh, I mean, this is just not the turnaround that you wanted for the Hornets. Playing so well. First, second, third, and fourth quarter. And then really all it came down to was that amazing shot by Baker.
Yeah, I mean, Baker changed the game entirely with that shot. And going into this overtime, if Truella wasn't here today, showing up like she is right now, especially making these clutch free throws now with 23 points, huge difference would have been made. I think this was the type of lead Albion was looking for all game. And when the momentum needed to come, it came at the perfect time.
Just unfortunate for this Hornet side. Really, really positive play from them. So good. I mean, we'll talk about it more, but still, the game is not over. You got time. You got luck on your side. Hornets trying to come out of this one alive as there's 18.8 seconds left on the game clock. Shot clock is off. Hornets down by 2 possessions.
Yeah, gonna need anything. There you go.
Hogan, good for 2.
Yeah, and, you know, you see Albion trying to... Okay, so they take the timeout. They're trying to argue about probably some sort of clock situation there. But Hogan going through the lane, you think you might want a 3-point shot to keep it within 1 and to not let Albion be able to go up by 2 again, especially if Truella has the ball. But I don't mind the 2, honestly. If you play really good press defense, you might be able to get the steal, or you might be able to get someone else to go to the line.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say. I mean, really, I'm not exactly sure what they're going to agree on for the game clock, as it was 18.8 before the inbound. So looking to see how they kind of adjust that. I'm thinking it didn't take long for them to score. I'm thinking around 16 seconds. Honestly, it didn't. It really took very minimal time.
Oh, they're talking it over. I'm not too sure what's going on. Let's see.
Well, this call matters a lot because it's a difference of how much time this Hornet squad has left to at least equalize. So they're going to want to make the right call. They could be going back and watching the stream and seeing how much time passes as they're able to review through the one camera angle we have that you're seeing on your screens now. I mean, man, it's going to need some work, but the Hornets in a position where they can maybe scramble out of.
Yeah, anything is possible. In 18 seconds or 16 seconds, I think that's a lot more time than people think about. You can get a ball pass in, take a shot, all within 1 second if you have the timeouts and you have the positioning. Kalamazoo, they still have 1 timeout left. So if they do end up getting the steal and end up taking the timeout, they have a really good opportunity. And now we see the clock change to 15 seconds. That makes a little bit more sense. But 3 seconds taken off the clock. Wow. That is a really efficient, good offense there from the Hornets.
Yeah, really. I mean, if Ryan Clark drew that up, there's no better way he wanted that executed. Hogan able to drive into the line pretty quickly after a couple of passes. Either way here, they want to make something happen. And they get it into the hands of Baker. Then Dinda fouls purposely. And I was just about to ask you, I mean, do you want them to foul? You want them to just apply the pressure, then if they can't get out of it, foul? But it looks like they go for the initial foul here.
I think you have to foul because, you know, when the ball is up in the air, time still ticks off. Fouling as fast as you can is the best thing to do. Baker's so efficient at the line. That one goes in, 77% on the season.
Yeah, Baker makes the first, making this a 3-point game, so making things a little bit harder for the Hornets as she has the second attempt left. And the second one is good as well. She fights through the crowd noise, clears her head and makes the shot. 2-possession game.
Yeah, and now for the Hornets, they got that 2 last time. They can do this infinite amount of times if they get that same exact play with Hogan. But, you know, maybe this time you have to go for a 3.
I was about to say, I mean, maybe if you clean up the 3, then you can foul one more time, you get them to the line, they make the 2 free throws, all right. Then it's just a 1-possession game, and you can just try to go for that catch and shoot. You have so many great shooters on your team. Both sides coming alive in the 4th and the overtime. And now, I mean, it's anybody's game, even though the Hornets are down 4.
Yeah, and down by 4. We'll see what they do. They're going to run the same inbound play. They're set up in the same exact position. If they find Hogan at the top, that'd be ideal, or Robertson in that case. But they find Hogan again.
This time, not good for Hogan. And a foul on Neela.
Yeah, and if they make these 2, the game's going to become even further out of reach. And it would confirm Carden, her 400th win as a coach. It's her 20th season coaching the Brits.
This first one's no good.
Yeah.
Get some support from her teammates. Neela. Second one, no good. Hogan, time and space, drives, and the 2 is no good from Hogan. I'm not sure if that was the play there for the final seconds, but either way, there's the final buzzard and your final score. Hornets finishing it off with 75, and Albion coming out on top with 79. Quentin, share us your thoughts, and then maybe I'll run us through some final stats.
Yeah, and this was a really great, fun game to watch, just as a broadcaster, fan, or anybody in general. I think both teams matched up really well, defensively, offensively, size-wise. And I think at the end of the day, making those smart shots made the difference. And really, Baker, that 3 to bring it into overtime was huge. They had so much momentum going into overtime. And if the game was just tied up, you know, at the beginning, make all the difference. And we see right now at half court, Coach Carden celebrating her 400th win. And you've got to give credit to her squad today. Truella doing such a fantastic job, now claiming herself as one of the best players in this Albion Brits program. Just a really great performance today from them.
Yeah, what better game to kind of get that 400th win? So much drama. You had Baker, we're going to keep talking about it, came out with that amazing shot. But let's just go and run through some leaders and some different parts and aspects of the game, and we can kind of get the full picture here. So in terms of the summary, you got the first quarter, Kalamazoo's outscoring Albion 13-9. You got the second quarter, Albion outscoring Kalamazoo 13-11. Then the third, Kalamazoo outscoring Albion 19-16. And the fourth, Kalamazoo underscoring to Albion 27-22. And then, of course, the overtime where Albion outscored 14-10. Leading up to your final score, 79-75. We'll take a look at the leaders here. You got Truella, 23 points scored on the night. Sophia Moore with 20. Applause, hat removal, some type of praise to Sophia Moore for the night that she had. Ruby Hogan sitting 2 under, 18. Vanderstelt with 14 and Wilkes with 10. So all different, very, very influential players on that top 5 leaderboard. Then you go over to rebounds, and I focus on rebounds just because I think it was so important. Pinnell with 9, Hogan with 13, right? Then you got Hannen with 9, and then Vanderstelt with 13. I mean, wild. Sophia Moore with 9, and then Samaje Robertson with 3. Even when you look over to assists, Ruby Hogan with 6, Wilkes with 1, Robertson 1, Vanderstelt 1. And then I also want to just take a look at the steals of the night. Sophia Moore with 2, Hogan with 2, Wilkes with 2. All around, really, really strong play from this Hornet side. I didn't have a lot of notes. All my notes were for that first quarter, and it was truly just they got to get a little bit more on the ball. They got to let go of the shot. And then it just felt like both sides were just head on head, foot on foot. There was not much that you can do. Then you had the amazing shot to kind of send it into overtime. Honestly, if it was me just looking as an audience watcher, I thought the Hornets had it into that fourth. Then Baker coming in clutch, right, trying to secure that 400th win for this Albion College side. And, yeah. There's not much to say more. It kind of wrapped up from there. There's no negatives, honestly.
No,
you look
100%.
at this game, and you step out of it as a Hornet, and you see you played so well.
Yeah.
And it hurts even me to see the loss. Seeing how well all 4 quarters into overtime was played.
They never slowed down at all, Maya. You're completely correct. They've kept their foot on the gas the entire game, but Albion just kind of sped up at the right time, hit that 100-mile-per-hour mark, and the Hornets just a little bit less. And I think that wraps me up.
Yeah, that wraps up about everything. Again, your final score here at Tisch Lovelace Court was 79-75. Albion coming out with the win. We thank everybody for watching so very much. Have a happy Valentine's Day, right? Such a good day today. The sun's out. Everyone's having a great time. This was Kalamazoo Athletics, and we'll see you guys in the next one.